Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I want to talk all about the Steam Game Festival Summer Edition. This will be kicking off on June 9th. Signups and reminder setups are available right now. Want to go over that because with the cancellation of E3, with no major gaming events really happening, you might want the opportunity to try out game demos. Well, this is going to give you that opportunity, and best of all, you're going to be able to do it from the comfort of your own home. I think this is the way of the future, and I think offering people the ability to try unreleased games and demos is just very advantageous. I think the era of demos is slowly coming back, so that's really cool to see. But we'll go over that, and we'll also go over the Crysis tweets, and the fact of the matter is, it looks like Crysis is going to be coming back, and if you're a PC gamer, you probably have a long-standing history with Crysis, and if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice, because this is one of the most iconic games ever released on PC, and we'll go over that in just a little bit. But first of all, let's go over all of the info about the Steam Game Festival. So there is a Steam Game Festival page over on the partner Steam Games website, so you can check that out. That's the Steamworks documentation. That's more so for developers, so it's not really going to be applicable for a lot of you guys. However, if you are a developer, if you do want to get in on this, this is something that is definitely going to be advantageous for you, especially if you're trying to promote your game. But it looks like they're really opening up the floodgates for anyone to participate on this. I'm sure there is going to be a level of assessment that does go from Steam's side of things. And I do want to go over the frequently asked questions on this page because it does give us kind of an idea. What are the requirements for entry? In order to be eligible, you must have a Steamworks developer account in good standing and have a game you plan to release on Steam before the summer of 2021 with an approved and visible store page. So that kind of gives us an indicator and a limiter right off the bat of what games we could see. Does any game need to show a public release date? Yes, although that release date doesn't have to be exact. For instance, the release date could be November 2020 or fall 2020 if you aren't ready to commit to an exact date, so they are asking for just a release window. Do I need a store page for my game? Yes, you need to have a store page that's visible by the time the festival starts. Our goal is for customers to be able to play your game, learn more about your game, and have the opportunity to add it to their wish list. A store page is necessary to accomplish those goals. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. If you are doing game demos and things like that, you want to transition that right into a wish list. You don't want to be like, oh, you can play the demo, but the Steam official page isn't up yet, so you can't wish list it right away. Look, gaming moves very, very quickly, and you might play a demo that you really enjoy, but a week down the line, you're playing something completely different, and that demo is a distant memory, so that makes a lot of sense. Do I need a demo? Yes, a demo or small playable section of your game is needed to participate in the Steam Game Festival. The demo needs to be live by at least the start of the festival. Can I submit more than one game? You can submit any games that are due to release in 2020. If you have more than one game that matches this criteria, then you can have more than one game in the festival. And if you're unsure on whether or not you're going to hit the target release of 2021, they're just asking you to use your best judgment. If you think a game is realistically going to release within the next year, then we would like for you to participate. If it's more likely that your game will ship after the summer of 2021 or later, then we would prefer you not to participate in this event and instead wait until an opportunity closer to the launch of your game, and then you can also go about setting up a live stream or chat. A lot of details also come from the official Game Festival page, which is probably more relevant to the normies like you and I. Celebrating amazing upcoming games through demos and live developer events, the Steam Game Festival is an event that shines a spotlight on games set to be released within the next year from June 9th until the 14th, so not this most significant window in the world, but that does give you at least a couple of days to try these games out. Check out upcoming releases, try them out with limited time demos or short playable experiences, and connect with the developers behind the games and add games to your wish list for a reminder when they release. Now, what's going to be really interesting is the gravitas of the games that they do end up getting, because while I've really dug the Game Festival and I've dug the fact that Steam has been going down this route, and I do think ultimately this is going to be something that is featured on a wide variety of platforms, and Keeley does note that there's going to be other platforms that they're going to be expanding to. I think ultimately you do want to get the heavy hitters on there as well. Yes, I love to see some of the more lower key titles that are getting a prominent focus as a part of the Game Festival, but how cool would it be if you get to play some of those demos that would be available at big events like E3? Like, could you imagine if a Dying Light 2 playable demo was just there as a part of the Game Festival? That'd be insane. What if a Cyberpunk 2077 demo was available as a part of the Game Festival? I don't know, was Cyberpunk 2077 gonna be playable at E3? I don't know for a fact, but I don't think that's too much of a stretch of the imagination. However, it is gonna ultimately be up to the developers on whether or not they want to get in on this, but the fact of the matter is, with no E3 this year, how are you gonna promote your games? Do you want to give people the opportunity to try these games out? And guess what? The social media buzz for something like this, if they can really parlay this and make it a big deal, I really think there would be a lot of buzz around it, and I think for those 5 days, everybody would just be sitting down and playing these big game demos. Now, Steam's bandwidth might be absolutely shot, but nonetheless, I think it would be a really cool step in the right direction and what I want to ultimately see out of the Game Festival going forward. And if we can have this on all platforms, if we can make this a regular thing, well, that would be very awesome to see. I know that would kind of really mitigate the interest of something like a E3 or a PAX East, but still, those events people go to have a social experience as well. It's not just about playing the video games. I can attest to the fact when I went to PAX East, it was more of an experience rather than just exclusively playing the games. The games were really cool, but there is more to the events than just that. Alright, so there's all that on the Steam Summer Game Festival. I also do want to note that it looks like Crysis is going to be making a comeback. So April 13th, yesterday, the Crysis Twitter account tweeted out for the first time in nearly 4 years receiving data, and then they just followed up with another tweet just about an hour ago. Hey Nomad, you're still with us. So this is of course very exciting. Crysis is a franchise that has been absent for quite a while, but it still remains one of the most iconic franchises on PC. When you look at Crysis, Crysis 2, Crysis 3, and I'm not going to forget about Crysis Warhead. They are all tremendous games. Crysis 3 was my least favorite, and I actually enjoyed Crysis 2 the most. I might be in the minority on that, as a lot of people are partial towards the first game. I liked the first game. I just thought Crysis 2 was a really, really well-made game, and of course, the visuals in this game is something that is going to be iconic for a very, very long time. I mean, can your PC run Crysis? That was one of the biggest sayings in PC gaming for a very long time. Not necessarily the case anymore, but it's still something that is relatively memorable. And if you go back and play Crysis 2, even in 2020, the game looks magnificent. Crysis 1 looks really good. Crysis 3, there's that section in the forest that back in the day, that would obliterate your frame rate. I remember that so well playing Crysis 3 on a GTX 660 Ti. My frame rate was getting obliterated at that section, but nonetheless, those games looked beautiful. And Crysis 4, could you imagine? Now, not only do you have all of the PC hardware to work with, but Crysis 1, 2, and 3, they were released on the 360 and PlayStation 3, and they were limited quite a bit on consoles. If you actually remove the handcuffs a little bit, I mean, the PlayStation 5 is probably going to have its limitations as well, but it definitely would feature a more technically impressive Crysis game than what we saw on last generation platforms. That just makes all the sense in the world. And as far as PC goes, man, they could just absolutely go crazy with the hardware we have now. And we could literally start a can your PC run Crysis 4 all over again. And I think the world is ready for a new Crysis. Maybe people didn't enjoy Crysis 3 as much. I thought it was a good game. Again, my least favorite, but I do think enough time has passed. I think the world is ready and willing to give Crysis a chance, especially with Crysis 4. And I think it would be the most advantageous thing if you did a Crysis collection on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X to make those games really lose their handcuffs on consoles and give console players the best experience possible and reintroduce Crysis to an audience that, hey, those games came out, Crysis 1 came out 13 years ago. I think it was 2007. So a lot of people missed out on Crysis, but with the collection, I think it makes a lot of sense. EA doesn't typically do a lot of collections and remasters. I mean, it seems like a license to print money if you remastered Bad Company 2, if you remastered Mass Effect Trilogy, whatever the case may be, but they really haven't been doing that. The remasters we've been seeing from them are freaking Burnout Paradise remastered, and I love Burnout Paradise, but come on, is that the remaster everybody's asking for? Nonetheless, with Crysis, I think it makes all the sense in the world. And that's going to conclude this video, guys. Again, the Steam Game Festival will be kicking off June 9th until June 14th. You'll be able to check out upcoming games. At what level, we don't know yet, but as we hear more information, I'll definitely let you guys know. And it does look like Crysis is making a comeback with the series of tweets the official Crysis Twitter account put out. That's going to wrap up this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.